Bubbles.
Hello my darlings and welcome to Reddit Rex, where I read books based on subreddits I lurk. And today's subreddit is HoldMyCatnip. So books that I think would suit the theme of HoldMyCatnip are ones that feature chaotic little creatures, human or not, who are unhinged, unpredictable, and possibly possessed by the spirit of a cat doing parkour at 3 a.m. Whether it's literal animal protagonists, feral behavior, or characters who knock over emotional furniture for fun, these books contain gremlin chaos, cat-like judgment, and feral antics. The first book I chose to read for this reading vlog was Night of the Living Cat by Hawkman. This is a post-apocalyptic manga horror comedy where a virus turns humans into cats, and you end up getting a cat horde. The absurdity is high. It is wild, weird, and playful horror. So a global plague turns humans into cats by the world's most dangerous form of transmission, kitty cuddles. And in this world, the last scraps of humanity hide in abandoned cities, armed with cat wands and water guns. And then enter Kunagi, a mysterious man with amnesia and uncanny cat whisperer skills. His daily struggle? Not being able to pet the cute kitties. Unfortunately, Kunagi wants cats to like him, but the fate of the world hinges on him being able to resist the urge to say, psst, 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 here kitty, kitty, kitty. This was kind of like The Walking Dead if the zombies were furry, adorable, and very determined to rub themselves on your legs. I thought it was a gloriously absurd mashup of horror tropes and cat lover chaos. It treats its feline antagonists with the gravity of eldritch monsters, and yet they're drawn as irresistible fluff gremlins that are trying to boop humanity into extinction. I thought the manga balanced the very tense, dramatic panels with the slapstick comedy, and they even redo very famous horror movie scenes, which I thought was fucking hilarious, like this scene from Alien right here. It was just fast, funny, and just very, very silly. I gave this a 4 stars. I had a great time. Am I going to continue on with the series? No, it was enough for me, but it was just ridiculous and very, very kawaii. I had a great time. And I felt like it absolutely suited the theme of HoldMyCatnip, literally and metaphorically. The next book I picked up was Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. So this is an anxious atheist lesbian who accidentally becomes a receptionist in a Catholic church and just might be solving a murder. It is skittish stray cat in girl form. I mean, she likes to microwave light bulbs just to see what will happen. So we have Gilda, who is a semi-depressed lesbian disaster who thinks about death more often than people think about lunch and accidentally gets a job at a Catholic church while looking for free therapy. And instead of healing her mental health, she decides to pretend that she's straight, religious, and completely sane. It's 3 lies stacked like a cursed Jenga tower. And while trying to hide her depression, her girlfriend, and the fact that she has no idea what mass is, she somehow begins investigating whether the last receptionist that she has now replaced died mysteriously or whether she was killed. Or is Gilda just catastrophizing again? Some people might think it's a darkly funny character study about a woman wrestling with anxiety, depression, identity, and the absurdity of simply being alive. I didn't find it that funny, however. I can see that it was trying to use humor to expose mental illnesses, bizarre, spiraling logic, and that, the author was trying to make Gilda relatable and real and flawed. She's awkward, she's well-intentioned, but she's just messy AF and spiraling into these clusterfucks of her own making. It's like, girl, do less. Why are you lying about everything? You don't need to lie about. You don't need to lie about this stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing? So you do have the murder mystery subplot. It's not really that important. And it's not really that important to the story. It's mostly, I guess, focused on, like I said, Gilda as a character, her queerness, her loneliness, how she ends up creating maybe a bit of community. But I don't know, man. I just found it very long-winded, depressing, and mundane. I thought it was going to be a lot funnier and weirder, but the weirdness is from her really stupid decisions. Like her choosing to date a dude in order to appear straight, even though she's not straight and she has a girlfriend and she doesn't need to date this really shitty dude. It's like, why are you doing it? Why would you do it? You don't need to date a man to pull off being straight. This is on top of all the other dishonesty, and I'm someone who really can't stand dishonesty. And seeing a character just lying through her teeth, and like I said, just stacking these lies upon each other and eventually hurting people that do care about her. It was just yuck for me to read about. And there was even this one point where she's been arrested and all she has to do is just answer truthfully and they would let her go. If she just tells them, okay, this is what happened, she would be let go. But she doesn't tell them. She just decides, I guess it's better to stay in prison than just tell the truth. So it's like, is she a pathological liar or is she just messed up? I think another big main reason that I didn't enjoy the reading experience of this book is because the main character has massive death anxiety. And so she ruminates and obsesses over it all the time. And I used to have that. It was part of my OCD intrusive thoughts, I guess, is that I would ruminate and fixate on death. And I would think constantly, oh, I could trip and hit my head on the corner of this brick. My daughter could get struck by a car while waiting for these lights. Like I was constantly thinking about death. I was constantly visualizing everybody's funerals. It was exhausting and upsetting because I would upset myself by visualizing the death of my loved ones, visualizing me dying and leaving my children behind without a mother. And it wasn't until I did a heroic dose of mushrooms that that was able to quiet way down. And so then reading about it, I was like, oh, it was like that fear of, I'm going to call it out again. You know, I don't want to jinx myself by reading this person's death anxiety. I'm going to accidentally, butt dial mine. So yeah, I didn't like it. This just wasn't for me. And I know a lot of people do really love this book, but yeah, I just couldn't get on with the character making all those decisions. I was just frustrated and annoyed the whole time I was reading this. And there just wasn't much about this book that I enjoyed at all. I gave it a 3, but to be honest, I think it's more like a 2.75. Yes, sweetie. Very nice. I like the monotone. It's very cute and comfy. I would say some other similar books like this with messy, unhinged main characters that I did enjoy were Perfume and Pain by Anna Dawn, which is also about a lesbian, and Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. So yeah, I don't always need a likable, sane, logic main character, but for some reason, I think it was majorly the death anxiety that was, I guess, maybe triggering me some way and just ruining my experience. But yeah, I just didn't like this one as much. So I think I'm going to downgrade it to a 2.75, unfortunately. I would try something else from this author. Like I do have the library book that is coming out from them. And so I am still going to give that a go. And if I don't like that as well, then I guess this author isn't for me. But yeah, I just was expecting more humor and more weird things in a different weird. But let me sum up the 2 books that I read for this reading vlog. So I read Night of the Living Cat, Volume 1 by Hawkman. A pussy lover tries not to pet cats during the snuggliest apocalypse ever, and Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. A girl with overwhelming death anxiety becomes a church receptionist and finds community despite being wildly unqualified and extremely gay. I do think that if you love your fiction a little furry, a little chaotic, and 100% off the leash, these 2 books will hit the spot. Drop your favorite goblin, cat, gremlin core books in the comments below, and don't forget to knock something over on your way out. Today I am taking my daughter and her friends to the city. I want to head into Honey Birdette because this bra doesn't match. I don't have any bras that match this, so I'm hoping they have something there that I can swap this bra out for to make this more of a vibe. I might even, you know what, I'm gonna have a look to see if I've got anything else because I really don't like this. So I know I'm doing that. I'm probably going to try and find some summer drinks, take myself out to lunch because I am hungry, and just see what else I want to get up to. So I'll take you along for my adventures. Until next time, stay well, Star Child.